station, WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make the show possible, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In the studio now, we have Brooke Dunn with Central Illinois Food Bank. How are you today, Brooke Dunn?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing super well. Thanks so much for being here with us today. We've got much to talk about. Central Illinois Food Bank. It's always a busy time, and it's May 1st. You guys got anything special going on for the month of May over there?
Yeah, something really exciting that a lot of people are probably very familiar with. It is that time again. We are having the letter carrier Stamp Out Hunger food drive. If you had received something in the mail, you should have received a postcard saying that you are one of the chosen houses to where the letter carriers will come and pick up any food items that you put out by your mailbox. Obviously, some non-perishable food items would be best. But so if you got picked, your letter carrier, your regular letter carrier will come by and just pick up the food for you. So it's really so easy. And when it comes to the food bank, it's going to be distributed out to our pantries, our partner agencies, including Taylorville Food Pantry. So just wanted everyone to know that that is going on. It's very exciting, and it's actually one of the largest largest single day food drives that we have in the United States.
Wow, United States. So this is a really big one right here. I want to dive into just a little bit later. I want to dive into the redistribution from the Central Illinois Food Bank, but this is a big one. The letter carriers Stamp Out Hunger food drive. Did I get it right there? Okay,
yes.
Okay, you got it all.
Very clever.
How have you? It is a good one right there. I like it. Stamp Out. I'm getting it right now. How are the houses selected? It seems kind of random. And what if I get a notice and I'm not ready with perishable foods? How does this work?
It's determined by the National Association of Letter Carriers, so I'm not sure. It really depends. I always every year hope that I get picked on my own home that I can do it. But just be looking out in your mailbox. It should be there. I'm not sure exactly how they decide, but most people get it, and it's really exciting to see.
So it's not too abnormal to get one.
No. So if you haven't gotten one, just keep looking. Cool. Just depends on your mail and all that.
Very fun. That's going to be a busy day for the letter carrier that day. There's going to be a couple more poundage on his weight, but that's going to be really, really fun there. You said one of the biggest in the United States?
Yeah. So since they started, I can't remember the exact year, but they have acquired around 1.9 billion pounds of food.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
We just yesterday learned the difference between a million and a billion with the Illinois State Treasurer. 1 million seconds. If you wanted to count to 1 million seconds, take you about 11 days. If you wanted to count to 1 billion seconds, take you about 30 years.
That's my gosh.
That's the difference between million and billion. 1.9 billion pounds.
Yes. Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. So back to the Central Illinois Food Bank. It's going back to the Central Illinois Food Bank. Now, describe the process from there.
Yeah. So once we receive money or any sort of food drive or anything like that, it comes to our warehouse, which is in Springfield, but it gets distributed across our 140 partner agencies, which is across Central and Southern Illinois. We have exactly 21 counties that we serve in Central and Southern Illinois. So even though we are based in Springfield, it is not staying in Springfield at all. It is being distributed out to pantries all over Central and Southern Illinois. So, for example, the letter carrier Stamp Out Hunger food drive, it's going to come to the warehouse only for a short period of time before it gets distributed out to our pantries.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense right there. And thank you for breaking that down for us. 140 partner agencies across South Central Illinois right there. I really can't even believe that number. And when I think about the conversations we have, I mean, these conversations could be had in the next town over. Are you kind of seeing the same conversations, the same problems from county to county, city to city? What do you see there?
Yeah. So it is a very understandable misunderstanding that people often associate a food bank with a food pantry. Even before, I didn't really understand the capacity of what a food bank really does. But as a food bank, we are a hub that supports pantries. We are not a pantry. And when you think of a pantry, it's going to be exactly what you do typically imagine, which is people coming in and getting food that they need, food stocked on shelves, maybe a refrigerator or a freezer. But a food bank is very different. It's a very large warehouse where we acquire food through, funding, through purchasing, through food drives, and then it gets distributed out. Pantries will purchase their orders through the system that we use, and then it gets delivered or picked up.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that the process right there. There's not going to be patrons lined up outside of the Central Illinois Food
No,
Bank. That's just not how that goes. It's distributed out to all of the food pantries and 140 partner agencies. Is that 140 food pantries? Is that the way
It includes pantries, but it includes other things like, so for example, like backpack programs. They don't always fit the exact mold of a typical pantry, but it's more than just, a lot of them are pantries, but a lot of them are like after school programs or, other things like that.
Sure. I'd love to get into some of those programs that you guys are providing for. Backpack programs. What is that?
Yeah, so it helps with children after school if they, if they can bring stuff home.
Wow.
And we also have like a kids cafe, which that is also helping students with, giving them hot meals for like after school and stuff like that.
Wow, even more important right there. So have you guys been having any partnerships with schools in Springfield or in South Central Illinois?
Yeah, so a lot of times if we want to do some of our mobile distributions, which that is also something that the food bank does on occasion, if we have a partner that we can work with, we will work with certain schools in the district. So we have done some, I'm trying to think, in the Springfield Public School District, but we do some out in like other areas as well. But yeah, we'll partner sometimes with schools, and it's really great to see all the families come out, and it's a great access point for us to be able to get food specifically to families facing hunger.
Yeah, it makes it even easier right there. So speaking with Brooke Dunn right now with the Central Illinois Food Bank, how long have you been with the Central Illinois Food Bank?
Over a year now.
Over a year, okay.
Yeah.
So you've kind of been able to start seeing some of the trends, some of the things
Yeah.
that have been moving through a year. I love asking people that have been in their profession for 20 years. It's been interesting to see
Not there
what
yet.
they
Not
say.
Yeah.
Back in the
Yeah.
back in the 90s, what changes they've seen in the business. But you've gotten a snapshot of it now.
Yeah.
Are you able to draw any conclusions, any real findings throughout your time there of real trends that you're able to see within communities and just generally?
Yeah, something that I think has been really eye-opening for me in the time that I've been here is that hunger does not fit a specific mold that a lot of people often associate with hunger. So it is a family that, is living paycheck to paycheck, and then their air conditioner went out, or, something else happened and they are just really struggling that month. It is so much more than just that stereotypical idea that a lot of people have in their head. And it's really opened my eyes to, how many people really are struggling with food. And even just from my own personal experience of what it's like when you have this inflation in the grocery stores and how much it costs just for a single individual, how much it costs in comparison to a couple years ago. And it really, even in the distributions that we've done, that has been really interesting to see. We've even had like when they're waiting in line, their cars have broken down because they need the food, and they, it's situations like that where it is not always just this one size fits all for hunger. There are so many different people who need our help, and we are here for them, and we want to help them get food in any way that we can.
Yeah. You brought up some great external attributions to things that people often don't associate when thinking about a person that's struggling right there. A broken AC. Yeah, that's going to make it harder to buy groceries for the month when you're already living paycheck to paycheck. Have you been able to have close contact with food pantry patrons and been able to talk with any of them? I know with the Central Illinois Food Bank, you're kind of separated from that, but it seems like you've gotten a really great look at the inside operations here.
Oh, yeah. And what is so great about our 140 partner agencies is that they are very welcoming to us anytime we have to come by. But we love to come by just to stop in and see how things are going. And it really is a heartwarming experience to see people coming in. And we really want to make it as empathetic as possible for them. And it's really great to see pantries that are doing that and taking an extra step to making sure they're, really connecting with them on a human level.
Yeah, really special words here with Brooke Dunn with the Central Illinois Food Bank. We're going to take ourselves a short time out. When we come back, we'll have more from her. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Moms are awesome.
You can say that again.
Moms are awesome.
Nobody's better at finding lost keys, toys, and remote controls.
Or creating a fantastic feast from a fridge full of leftovers.
When it comes to multitasking, moms leave dads in the dust.
You can simultaneously map out the family's weekly schedule, help with homework, sort through a sea of sports uniforms, and referee a sibling squabble.
It's impressive.
I can't even chew gum and walk at the same time.
Moms are walking lie detectors. She can sniff out a fib from 300 miles away.
Moms excel at party planning, calendar keeping, coupon redeeming, and boo-boo healing.
You're the family historian,
The archivist of memories,
the steward of stories,
and the curator of relatives' relics.
Moms dispense incomparable advice and unconditional love.
Even when we screw up,
And forget to call.
moms are always there.
It's what you do.
So here's to Mom, the OG superhero.
The queen of our hearts.
To all the mommies out there, happy Mother's Day, Mommy, from Jansen's Heating and Air.
I'm Will Perkins, President and CEO of the Taylorville Community Credit Union. TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight, allowing a different nonprofit organization to be highlighted on WTIM, WMKR, and WRAN each month.
The Senior Citizens of Christian County is located at 701 West Adams in Taylorville. We provide many important services to seniors in Christian County. I am Jennifer Verardi, the Executive Director of the Senior Center, and I would like to let you know that our Senior Center provides services strictly on a donation basis. Lunch is served Monday through Friday at 11:30, and Meals on Wheels is offered to those who are homebound. Please call us at 824-4263 for more information on our services.
This is Cammie Payne, General Manager of the Miller Media Group. We, along with TCCU, are proud to bring you the Community Spotlight each month.
TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
In addition to great radio marketing, the Miller Media Group now offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions. Our affordable programs include custom web design and SEO to help you get found on Google. Seeking more inbound web and store traffic? Our Facebook, YouTube, and geo-targeted marketing programs are all designed to make your cash register ring. To get started, call your Miller Media account manager or go to mmgdigitalnow.com. Miller Media Digital, where digital becomes local.
Luke Milan here from Milan Mowing, offering complete lawn care services to all of Christian and surrounding counties, and we are accepting new customers. Find out our lawn care options by clicking our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Central County's Health Centers in Taylorville welcomes Dr. Alicia Altheimer as their new family practitioner. Central County's makes healthcare easy and affordable. Book your appointment by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Thanks so much to our sponsors as well, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We're speaking with Brooke Dunn of the Central Illinois Food Bank. We learned about the Letter Carriers Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive, which you might be getting a letter in your mail there. Look out for that. Non-perishable food items. You can leave them right on your doorstep. Is that right, Brooke Dunn?
Yep, right by the mailbox. Put them in a bag right by your mailbox.
Makes it easy for them right there. Now we're going to move into some numbers here, some distributions recently over at Schuyler County. Talk to me about this, Brooke.
Yeah, so one of the big goals that Central Illinois Food Bank has is supporting the rural communities in Central and Southern Illinois. And just to kind of show you guys what we're doing out in the community, we recently had a mobile food distribution in Schuyler County, specifically in Rushville at the Schuyler County Fairgrounds. We distributed over 6,500 pounds of nutritious foods, which included eggs, milk, potatoes, apples, and ground beef. And it served just around 150 families.
6,500 pounds of food right there.
Yes.
And the fresh, nutritious aspect that we
Yes.
cannot forget about. Right
Yeah.
there. Unbelievable. That's a large amount of donations for this type of food. If it's non-perishable, so if it's cans, that can add up pretty quickly. But where's this coming from? That seems like a big haul.
Yeah, so we can receive it through certain grants or certain partners. This time it was through a grant, but I mean, the nutritious food is something that we so totally want to promote out into our communities. And it's actually something that we recently discovered in a survey that we did, asking our neighbors, what are you liking? What we want to work with you on, feed you the best that we possibly can. They're really responding well to the nutritious food that we're offering, and we're really excited that those efforts are really paying off, and that we are helping families have those nutritious options. We always say, we are not the nutrition police. We are not going to say that you have to eat this certain way, but to be able to give them options and a lot of staples like eggs and milk and potatoes. There's so many things that you can do with that, and you can really spread it for a lot of meals. So we love it. We have a nutrition policy at the food bank, so we're always trying to acquire as much nutritious food as possible.
When you speak on eggs and potatoes and ground beef, I mean, these are all such versatile items. You can make so many different recipes. You're not going to get tired of one thing. I always wonder that. Of course, you can't be too choosy with these types of things, but now you really can be with a lot of options. I really love that. Over in Schuyler County, 6,500 pounds in a mobile distribution. What did you call it? It was kind of a mobile.
Yeah, it's a mobile food distribution. So that's kind of one of those special things that when we have an opportunity to do it, like a partner or a grant, we can go out into the communities, because kind of how we talked before, we are a warehouse in Springfield, so we're not a pantry in the those rural communities. So it gives us a chance to go out to those rural communities that we're not able to get to every single day as the food bank.
Sure. And you mentioned it kind of right there. There is some travel, and there's different aspects to these rural communities and food pantries. Talk to me about some barriers. What are we talking about, and what towns do you see there with rural communities?
Yeah, so that is something that is really unique for the Central Illinois Food Bank, is that we are across 21 counties. And if you can imagine, say, for example, Chicago, they're serving one single county because they have such a high population. But with a rural community comes unique challenges. So when you are in an area where there are only like one or two towns, and those towns don't have a grocery store, you're going to have to travel sometimes hours away just to get to your closest grocery store. And that is a really big challenge for people struggling with hunger in those areas. So we want to be able to get out to them as best as we can and serve them. And that's why those pantries are so great that we have them there. But it really comes with unique challenges. And, for Central Illinois Food Bank, 21 counties is quite a large area for us to serve.
It really is. And 21 counties, unbelievable. And you might be spending the money in gas that you would be spending on your groceries just to get to a grocery store if you're really rural and you're spending an hour in the car just to get to the grocery store. Now we're kind of learning just the importance of the Central Illinois Food Bank and supplying to these 21 counties. Like you said, 21 counties, unbelievable. Any more barriers that pop up other than transportation that you can think of?
Well, I think a big one was, since COVID, on top of the difficulties of getting to those grocery stores, a lot of them have shut down as well. So those local grocery stores that a lot of the rural communities depended on have shut down. And so now you're going to kind of those bigger grocery stores that are typically in bigger cities. And, anybody who has lived in, Central and Southern Illinois, it's very rural, and we have such a strong community there. And it's really quite neat to see really the family and the community that is present in those rural areas. And, every neighbor is helping each other out. And that really comes back to like the core of what we believe in, is just helping our neighbors facing hunger. But yeah, there's so many unique barriers when it comes to those rural communities that a lot of times get left out of discussion, because, when you have a less population, they don't think about the distance.
When you lose a family-owned grocery store in a small town, what does that do for a community? And with we aren't going to think of you as an economist here, because we don't. I'm not going to put any of that on you. But have you heard conversations? Have you seen trends that to a reason why these often fail, and they have been failing the last couple of years?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I am a communications major, so take it easy on me. But I interviewed a local community just a little bit outside of Springfield, and they talked about their closest one was Athen's grocery store, and they shut down, and so they have to travel even further. And just those anecdotal, experiences that I'm hearing. It just really is heartbreaking to see, but it's happening across the country. It is. I mean, I've seen it just when you're driving through these towns and nothing's open, these businesses aren't open, and you want to see some growth, and I think it's really exciting. I see in Taylorville like a lot of growth and like a lot of new businesses, and I think that's really great.
Yes.
But that is not always the case for more rural communities.
Right. Brooke, time flew by on us. I don't know what happened, but any place people can go to for information out there for the Central Illinois Food Bank?
Yes, if you want to learn more about our mission, vision, values, you can go to our website at centralilfoodbank.org, or if you want any updated information on what's going on with some food drives, you can go to our Facebook, Central Illinois Food Bank.
Perfect. Thanks for coming in today, Brooke.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was Brooke Dunn with the Central Illinois Food Bank. This has been the WTIM Morning Show right here on WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300.